Hiking Adventures in Math, Decimals and Fractions in Glacier National Park. Let's go hiking the Lake McDonald Valley Trails in Glacier National Park. Lake McDonald Valley is the hub of activity on the west side of Glacier National Park. Once occupied by massive glaciers that carved this area thousands of years ago, the valley is now filled with spectacular sights, hiking trails, diverse species of plants and animals, historic chalets, and the grand Lake McDonald Lodge. The wildlife viewing here can be spectacular, with species including bighorn sheep, mountain goat, elk, black bear, and whitetail and mule deer. 10,000 miles long and nearly 500 feet deep, Lake McDonald, the largest lake in the park, is a direct result of glacial carving. High peaks surrounding the lake all show evidence of the power of glaciers to carve even the hardest of rock. The powerful glaciers that carved the broad U-shaped valley that Lake McDonald sits is also carved smaller hanging valleys with wonderful waterfalls that are accessible by numerous hiking trails. Here's the map for Lake McDonald Valley Trails. Let's look at a key. The key or legend on a trail map explains the symbols used to indicate various features and facilities. We have some interesting icons on this map. This icon means a ranger station, the bus stop or shuttle stop, hiking, campground, horseback riding, and lodging. We set up camp at Trail of the Satyrs campsite. Now it's time to do some hiking. The first hike takes us from our campground to the trail marker at St. John's Lake. Looking at the map, we can see that is 3.8 miles. What is that as a fraction? Let's look at the decimal. The 3 in front of the decimal is the ones place. This is the whole number. Behind the decimal is the 8. Since we only have one place, that's the tenths place. We'll write the whole number first, 3. But how would we write 8 tenths? Actually, it's exactly as you said it. 8 tenths. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Except we do have to reduce. But that's not going to be hard either. When I see 8, I think 2 times 4. Now I look at 10. Does 2 go into 10? Yeah, 5 times. 2 times 5. All I have to do now is cancel the 2's, and we end up with 3 4/5 miles. 3.8 miles is the same thing as 3 4/5 miles. We took the bus to start our second hike of the trip. From the mile marker on McDonald Lake, we hiked to meet some friends camping 1/3 of the way down the trail. Looking at the map, we can see it is 6.3 miles from marker to marker. What is that as a fraction? Once again, we have 6.3. The 6 is the ones place. That's our whole number. That's the big number. And 3, since we only have one place, is the tenths place. 6 is our whole number. That's the big number in front. Then we have a 3 in the tenths place. And that's it. 6 3/10 miles. How far did we hike as a fraction? To find this answer, we need to divide the total distance by 3. Why by 3? Because our friends are camping 1/3 of the way down the trail. To do that in fractions, we will take 6 3/10 divided by 3. The first thing we should do is change our mixed number into an improper fraction. All we have to do is take 10 times 6 plus 3 over 10. We keep the same denominator. 10 times 6 is 60 plus 3. 60 plus 3 is 63. That gives us 63 over 10. But that's not our answer because we haven't divided yet. We'll take 63 over 10 divided by 3. Our next step is to change the 3 into a fraction. Since we have a whole number, it's just over 1. To divide fractions, we actually have to change it to a multiplication. But we always flip the second fraction, or find its reciprocal. You'll notice I changed division to multiplication, and instead of writing 3 over 1, I wrote 1 over 3. Now we get to multiply straight across. This gives us 63 over 30. I'm sure you've heard this before. We always have to reduce. I'm looking at 30. I know that 30 is 3 times 10. When I look at 63, does 3 go into 63? Yeah, it does, 21 times. If I cancel the common factor, which is 3, we end up with 21 over 10. 21 over 10 is great, but would you say, oh, we hiked 21 over 10 miles? No, let's change this to a mixed number. How we do that is we do some long division. I'm going to take 10 into 21. 10 goes into 21 2 times. 10 times 2 is 20. Now we have to subtract. 21 minus 20 is 1. How do I write the fraction? It's actually pretty cool. The denominator is, well, the same denominator as 21 over 10. It doesn't change. But our numerator is the remainder. How far did we hike as a fraction? 2 1/10 miles. After visiting friends, we continued to the next trail marker. How far did we hike from the campground to the trail marker? The entire distance between the trail markers is 6.3 or 6 3/10 miles. We already hiked 2 1/10 miles. To find the distance remaining, we subtract. We'll take 6 3/10 minus 2 1/10. First, we subtract the whole numbers, 6 minus 2, which is 4. Then we subtract the fractions. Now what's really cool is they have a common denominator, so all we have to do is subtract the numerators. 3 minus 1 is 2. How far did we hike from the campground to the trail marker? We hiked 4 2/10 miles. Except, remember, we have to reduce. I know that 10 is 2 times 5, and 2 is 2 times 1. If we cancel the common factors, we end up with 4 1/5 miles. That gives us 4 1/5 miles. That's how far we had to hike. It was only 4 more miles to catch the shuttle from the Akpar Visitors Center back to our campground at Trail of the Cedars. How far did we hike today as a fraction? Let's see. We hiked from trail marker to trail marker, and then we had to hike the extra 4 more miles to get to the visitor center so we could take the shuttle. That means 6 3/10 miles from marker to marker, plus the 4 extra miles we had to walk to catch the shuttle. To find the total distance we hiked, just add the numbers. We have 6 3/10 plus 4. First, let's add the whole numbers, 6 plus 4, which is 10. We don't have another fraction to add, so it's just 10 3/10 miles. That's our total hiking distance for the day. That's a lot. Thank you for taking this adventure on the Lake McDonald Valley Trails and Glacier National Park. Do you need a little bit more help with fractions? Why not enroll in my Fraction Mastery Workshop? The link is below. And oh, if you really like this, why don't you subscribe? I have so many coming up, you'll really enjoy it.